Hello and welcome. My name is Linus, and in this video I will give you a quick overview of my game Eldritch Instinct. It's a hack based on cairn that blends cosmic horror and pulp action. It took me about 3 years to assemble and playtest the mechanics and advice to make sure that it all works really well together. It's built on the principles of the New School Revolution, which means, among other things, that instead of relying on your character skills, you'll interact with the world and NPCs directly through your questions and descriptions. This makes games way more immediate and immersive. My goal was to find mechanics that reinforce emotions such as fear and suspense, lead to difficult decisions, and create those tense and memorable moments. They should take some of the work off your shoulders as a warden or game master. Here are a few principles for both players and wardens, which are especially useful if you're new to the NSR playstyle or role-playing in general. All throughout the book, I've included links and references to influential blog articles which I highly recommend you to read. Creating your character is super simple, and there are a few random tables here for names, occupations, and details to flesh out your character. One thing I find particularly important is that players think about their character's relationships with other members of the group right at the start. That way, they hit the ground running as they already have a few pointers for role-playing their characters. The default setting is the United States during the 1930s, but if you change the names in these tables, it's super easy to change the setting to anything you want. At its core, Eldritch Instinct uses a simple d20 roll-under system with your 3 attributes: strength, dexterity, and willpower. Then here on the right side is the game's first central mechanic, the agenda clock. It's a timer that is reduced by 1d6 every time the players do something that takes time, like traveling, searching a room, resting, or when they attract attention. When it runs out, something bad happens. The agenda clock is an excellent mechanic because it creates a sense of urgency in the players and makes the world feel alive. After a short example of play, we get to the first pillar of the game, which is the Mythos. The insight system is the other central mechanic in Eldritch Instinct and combines ideas from Call of Cthulhu, Mothership, and Nemesis. Every time you experience something unnatural, you gain insight points, which are represented by crossing off these pips on your character sheet. The more insight points you have, the more likely it is that you panic when something really bad happens. It introduces an element of uncertainty and also a way for characters to change, because every time you panic, your resolve will either be hardened or broken. There's a way to convert your insight into Mythos knowledge, which is like your character's high score, but you can also use it to reroll saves and damage, which might come in handy when you're casting spells. Because casting spells always succeeds, you're just rolling to avoid nasty side effects. The second pillar of the game is investigation, and I've included a few sections detailing how social interactions, research, and exploration work in the NSR. Anne's post Landmark Hidden Secret was a real eye-opener for me, and it's important for wardens to understand these concepts when presenting the game world. The third and last pillar is action. Combat in odd-like games is awesome, and each round feels brutal and decisive, because you never roll to hit. Attacks hit automatically, and you only roll for damage. Eldritch Instinct also uses a simultaneous side-based initiative system, which is both simple and encourages cooperation. I have included a flexible chase system that integrates well with the fiction that you can easily modify or extend. It sets up these intense moments where players have to decide whether to escape safely or to help out struggling characters that are falling behind. And of course, I think you'll always find this random table of obstacles useful. Lastly, I have compiled some advice and tricks for running stealth and deception, which I find criminally underutilized in role-playing games. The last pages contain downtime procedures, which have led to some great and unexpected moments in my campaigns, example stat blocks, tips for converting scenarios from other systems, and of course Francesco Zanieri's beautiful character sheet. You can find the free PDF on itch and on DriveThru-RPGs, link in the description, and there's a print-on-demand option on DriveThru. I've also published a free introductory scenario called Roadhouse Feast. You can print it out and stamp bind it yourself or get the print-on-demand version. It's short enough to fit comfortably in one session on a weekday night or in a convention slot. It contains advice for new wardens and is easy to run straight from the book. Also, there's an example of the CATS procedure on the back cover that you can adapt and reuse to set clear expectations with your players. You can find this and other resources like random tables, a player aid, my blog, and conversion notes for scenarios on my website eldritchinstinct.com. If you enjoy the game, you would really help me out if you'd rate it on itch and DriveThru-RPG. And if you would like to hear my designer commentary, consider subscribing to this channel, because I'll be releasing more videos over the next few weeks, covering everything in great detail. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.